All right. Let's get the show started.
What don't I don't do?
What don't I don't do? Whatever you want, I can do. P. Diddy.
I'm going to get this started.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that started. Today, we are trying out from Novo Coffee, an Ethiopian in the GDO zone. Oh, we don't have time for that. It is going to be a washed heirloom variety that's going to taste like jasmine lime pear from, like I said, Novo Coffee, which Novo Coffee was founded in 2002. So they're 18 years old, Jack. By Jake, Joe, and Herb Brodisky. So started by three brothers with the mission to connect great coffee producers with great consumers. 17 years, 3 cafes, and a number of wholesale partners later, we're still working towards the goal. Novo Coffee is relationship focused. We seek to build ongoing, meaningful partnerships with producers and coffee farmers. By cultivating these relationships, we can purchase from the same farmers year after year, helping to improve farmers' pricing and enhancing coffee quality. At Novo, they strive to for quality, transparency, and the efforts of their coffee that they bring to the public. They're committed to purchasing the best coffee that they can from around the world. They roast coffee on their air roaster, one of the greenest roasters of the market today. And they taste their coffee weekly, continuously calibrating and reevaluating their roast recipes to guarantee cup quality.
Quality is important.
It is. They roast to order and purchase their green coffee seasonally, ensuring their roast coffee is the freshest it can be. They believe coffee is is more than a commodity at Novo. They strive for consistent improvement as growth of the company while they're connecting people on producing and with people of consuming end. In other words, get closer is what they say. So
you knew all that information off the top of the head. I'm impressed.
All of it. I knew all of that off the top of my head. I literally just read that from their bio. Okay, so today we're trying the Ethiopian. Wow, this is really cool. Their website's awesome. You guys should probably check it out. The Bedhatu Gibicho. Definitely butchered that. Wow. Okay, so is this 12-ounce coffee?
So it looks like
12 ounces. Wow.
How many grams we go to on this thing? I haven't done a big dog in a while.
566, Josh says. All right. Yeah, so this is washed heirloom in the Gdeb district of Ethiopia. All right.
Where in Ethiopia is that? Like we're talking north, south, east, west, central?
Let me check. Was not prepared for Jack to be asking these questions.
I got a lot of brain busters. Sorry.
Just need you to talk in the mic.
A lot of brain busters.
Okay, so the GDEB area. Wow, that's so small. It's just a city. That is in, as I'm zooming out, it looks like the southwest part of Ethiopia.
In the green section of the map.
Yeah,
looks like there's a lot of vegetation.
Yeah, opposite of Djibouti. It borders with South Sudan and Kenya, Somalia, and Uganda. So yeah, it's inland Ethiopia. And all right.
And I remember Lee talking to us about, he drew us a crude map on a napkin last week, I think.
Yeah, it was last week.
He was just kind of telling us the differences in regions and where like Ergeshefe is and what else? I can't remember.
Goji and all that.
What's up, Lyle?
What's going on, Lyle? Lyle is live and direct in the shop. Probably getting a pour over. Yeah, so
we got a new Burundi if you want that on pour over. new Burundi, if you want that on port.
So this says it's going to be a jasmine lime pear. I'm going to go start with the aromatics. So this is a very, very clean smell. Very clean smell. Go ahead and try that. We're doing the aroma part. Longtime friend of the show, Jackson, is sitting in for Josh Milliken. Josh Milliken is not here right now.
I got some big combat boots to fill.
Big shoes.
Yeah, big shoes to fill. I don't have a chain on like Josh usually does.
Yeah.
I have my mask.
Very important. Almost as valuable as a chain nowadays. So what do you smell in this, Jack?
Well, I'm getting some sweetness out of this. It's not like a normal like Ergeshefe or Goji Ethiopian where I'm just get like super berry forward.
Yeah.
Smells. It's kind of honey like.
Yeah. Citrusy, like that clean.
I just smelled the mic. I don't know why I did that. it really the smell kind of reminds me of our black honey.
Yeah.
It's a subtle sweetness is what I'm probably going to assume comes here. I'm not going to look at what the flavors were. I weren't listening to you when you said that. I want it fresh off
going in blind.
My palate. This has got to be close to being ready.
That is ready for sure. Yeah. Oh man. Thank you, Nick. No, it's a very, very, very clean smell. I am really enjoying it.
Is this a wash?
It is a wash. Yes, it's a wash heirloom variety. Man, I really get a strong citrus smell when I'm smelling it.
Good to the last drop.
It is. It's definitely clearing the scents on there. What's the wet smell like?
Kind of getting a little bit of honey molasses, I think, is what I'm smelling here.
Yeah, I can almost get like a leather.
Yeah, I can see that. Perhaps tobacco.
That's the grounds really smell like tobacco. If you want to give those a smell, yeah, that's hot.
Spilled
isn't
that all
it?
over me. Yeah, actually, that really does kind of smell like tobacco. I think that's like the main flavor or scent I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
It's still really hot.
Yeah. Oh, he is not obeying the rules of the morning cup, people.
Friend of the show can do whatever he wants.
Friend of the show can do whatever it's. Okay. So what are we giving this aroma? It's a scale from 1 to 10. I don't know if you've actually watched the show.
1 to 10, no 7s, right?
1 to 10, no 7s.
No room for cowards here. You gotta hop on or hop off.
Right. You got to make that decision.
So 1 to 10, no 7s. Sent.
Congratulations, Lance.
Congrats, Lance. Everybody all good?
Lance just had a baby. He just walked in.
Morning, right?
It was Sunday. So everybody say congratulations to Lance for his baby.
It's Mark. I didn't know what he said. Well, congrats, man. Hope everything's going good.
Colton Nation says, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Eric Mergener says, wow.
So 1 to 10, no 7s.
1 to 10, no 7s. It's a very unique smell. So I'm gonna go up toward. I'm gonna give it an 8. Giving it an 8.
It's not a below a 7 to me. It's not a 6. It smells delicious. It's very non-traditionally Ethiopian. I'm not getting fruit bombs. I'm not getting berries. None of that stuff.
It's a very clean smell.
Yeah, like it reminds me of I believe it was like a beard oil my friend Preston got that was like tarred leather or something like that.
Yep.
And that's kind of what it smells like. One of those hair treatments.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's that clean yet kind of the fruitiness, but manly fruitiness. Yeah. Those citrusies. I like how you described with beard oil because I had like a lemon beard oil that was similar. So I like that. If because I agree it's not it's not a below a 7. But 8, I have a hard time saying 8. So if I play the laws of averages, I could give it a 6 and it ends up being a 7 where I think it should be. So I'm gonna do that. 6 out of 10.
Way around the rules. There you go.
Way around the rules. Laws of averages. So 6 out of 10 for me. Jack's giving it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I really like this. It's it plays more towards the traditional coffee aroma, I think, which
Yeah.
I mean I happen to love.
So let me type it in my notes. So that comes out to 7 out of 10 on the aroma. Why didn't me and Josh ever do it this way before? Wow.
Well, we're just innovators here.
Longtime friend of the show, really kicking it up.
You just gotta elevate the game when you come into sub.
That is true. Always to be better.
Bring the A game.
Bring the A game. So next is the morning cup first sip.
Haha, yay.
Wow.
So this is the morning cup first sip. Jackson, do the honors and take the first sip.
Take my second sip.
Ooh, that is interesting.
I definitely get some of the citric acidity
Yes.
at the very beginning.
Yes. And it definitely finishes off with that bitterness. Like it almost is like a tobacco bitter.
Yeah. Like a pipe tobacco. That's that kind of, but it's also got that sweetness to it. Like, so when you smell like a vanilla pipe tobacco, you're getting that like kind of sweet vanilla aroma, but then it finishes off with that little bitter tobacco.
Yes.
This is a delicious cup of coffee.
It is. It is very, very good. Definitely getting the lime flavor. It is juicy on the palate.
Yeah, it's not dry at all.
No, it just it finishes with that dryness, but in like a good way.
Yeah.
As Josh and I have described, like a wine almost. Not as dry as a cab.
Really need to get that little cheat sheet that Lee gave us that one time he did that tasting for us, where we can write
do.
all the flavors down and put it on the wheel and all that stuff.
What is that? SEA?
SCA cupping, yeah. Cupping form, probably right there.
I think this is the overextended version.
Yeah, SCA stands for Especially Coffee Association. So, have you guys gone over cupping before? Like what that means?
No, we haven't. So this would be a great time to talk about cupping.
So, every coffee has a cupping score, and if you hear a lot of times people calling coffee specialty coffee. It's exclusively what we serve here at Cafe Rica, and that only means that on the SCA cupping scale, it is at an 80 or above on their scale. And obviously, the closer to 100, the better rating it is. But you're not going to go wrong with anything that's above an 80.
No.
And so they have experts that cup is what they call it. They do a tasting. I believe it starts with the green beans.
Yeah.
And then it goes all the way through roasting and tasting. And they have cupping experts rate coffees. And then that cupping score generally correlates to price per pound for the producer selling it. So obviously they're going to want you to put more into specialty coffee because you're going to get more money per pound. Overall, it'll be better for the producer, which in turn is going to be better for everyone involved because if the producers can stay solvent, we can get more delicious coffee, which is really what the whole fair trade movement was about, is making sure that make sure that coffee producers were not being taken advantage of by big companies. See you, Lyle.
Yeah, and what you were reading today, back in your notes from our last year's Coffee Fest about the fourth wave, right?
Yeah, so we're kind of in the fourth wave of coffee is what is being discussed. And that just means that more and more people are really truly coming for the experience, and they want like what I can't remember the exact poll that they're referring to in this seminar, but they were talking about how 75% of consumers want more transparency with their food. That's just in general, like that's really started with like the farm to table movement and the fair trade movement. So they just want to know where their products come from, and that's how coffee can be sustainably sourced. And a lot of producers do direct trade with producers, and they go down to say South America, Central America, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and meet the producers, get a relationship with the farmers, and just really do their best to make sure that the farmers are fairly compensated.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting to learn about that and see how other businesses really look at how they produce their coffee and all that. I'm pretty sure trade like requires it, so that's why we always get those types of coffees. But it's been astounding how many people are on the third wave, fourth wave movements. So I could not find that. That one's not the simplified version, but I couldn't find the form. But I did find the flavor wheel, which is very helpful. It's got the first ring, so out of the first ring, what do you?
So the flavor wheel, if you've ever seen it, is very intimidating. So I'm sure you guys have discussed this, but like when you see on this bag that it says you're getting jasmine, lime, and pear, it doesn't mean that's what the coffee tastes like. Like somebody will say, why? It's pear flavored coffee. No, it's just how your taste buds are responding to the coffee flavor. And that's what, the feel like if you were eating a pear, your taste receptors would be having the same response as to this coffee.
Yeah.
I didn't really get any pear.
Nah, I didn't either. I definitely got I'm looking at this chart, right? Like floral.
Yeah. No,
it definitely is the jasmine or black tea. Like that. I saw black tea and I was like, that's for sure. Like, it's pretty tea-like. You did say brown sugar. What it smelled like was like honey.
Honey molassesy leather.
Yeah. Which I would probably put that over there. And yeah, I definitely get a lime flavor, citrus fruit.
For sure, a little bit of that bitterness and some of that sweetness from the lime.
But not like a lemon where it was it's too sweet. It's like it's the lime, like sweet sour flavor, but we're not getting into like the citric acid sour. It's just like it's a little bit. It's clean.
Yeah, it's probably my head playing games with me now because I know that it says pear. I kind of feel like maybe there's a little bit of the graininess of a pear.
Yeah, that's another thing that the like mouthfeel is part of the SCA cupping.
But it could just be my head telling me that because I saw it. That's why I didn't want to look before I tasted it. Now it's hard to because you order it obviously and it shows up, but I hadn't seen it, so I didn't really want to look.
Yeah, no, but you're pretty spot on. Washed, definitely can taste that it's washed. It's not that like overarching berryness or fruitiness. It's definitely got a much.
And you're not going to get a lot of that with a wash because that's the most processed of the beans.
What was the amount of washed? Wasn't it like 70?
It was like 70% of all coffees roasted in the U.S. are of washed process.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which is milled with water. It's the process of taking the berry and the mucilage off of the coffee bean, where they use a mill and water, and it just shucks it basically. It's not any better or worse. It's probably the most efficient, time efficient. I believe washed is also fermented in big tanks, whereas a natural processed coffee is aged and fermented on raised beds.
Yep.
Made out of wood with screens on them. So the fruit imparts the flavor onto the bean, which is why the natty Yirg y'all had last week was sweet and delicious because of all that.
That's a great explanation of the processing. So thank you. I always like to hash that out and talk about it because they're vastly different. The tastes of washed and the taste of natural or honey, so different.
Even the difference between natural and honey are pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Where the honey process, there's several. There's like white honey, black honey, which is the coffee we have, yellow honey, and I believe it's just different amounts of mucilage left on the bean when it's being fermented. So
have you tried it while it gets colder?
Let me try it. So when the honey, that's why the honey is going to taste a little bit sweet, but not overwhelmingly sweet. Because we get a lot of people that are like, "Oh, you guys flavor that with honey," and it's like, nope. It's the process, of the coffee bean, which is it's just all about education, and people are asking those questions, and I'm glad to answer those. It doesn't ever really get annoying to me, like people just asking more about coffee, because like I'm no expert, don't get me wrong, but we've been doing this for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
So you get a little knowledge over the course of time.
Yeah. And so as one of our goals, we do try to create a coffee community, and
I like it hotter.
You like it hotter?
Yeah.
I kind of like it colder, but I like cold coffee. But yeah, so informing everybody is really fun to us. Eventually we want to have a tasting class with Lee and all that. But we really want to get this community of coffee lovers going in Battle Creek. But this is the first step, talking with each other, getting to know each other, and talking about coffee.
Yeah, and if we're not willing to take a little bit of time out of our day and explain stuff like that to people, we're not going to be building that community and fostering that level of friendship. And that's really what coffee is all about. My favorite part of coffee is being able to sit while we're working behind bar, watching other people sit down and have coffee with each other, and just as a part of their life. That is like my favorite part of having this shop, really. Like, it's, it's great to be my own boss. It's great to have built something from the ground up and do all of this, but like watching people have interactions with their friends and family, and have this place be just a part of their life is something that I really enjoy. Like, it's not something that I thought I would enjoy so much, because I never really looked at it that way, because I've always been the consumer that way. Like, places I go, I like to be there because of how it makes me feel, but I've never seen other people, like, hearing somebody call this like their favorite place to go in town to like meet friends is just great. I love it.
Yeah, it is amazing to see people congregate here and kind of just enjoy the presence of each other.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that like I watch some bourbon YouTube channels. Thanks Gimmie Rich for pointing, I think it was Mash and Drum out to me, but the host of that show always likes to end his show with a quote, and I don't know it verbatim, but it's not the pours you drink, it's the people that you share them with. Is what's important. And we watched that one docu movie about
bourbon,
yeah. And this one guy said he worked at a distillery with his father, and he was always wanting to save this bottle of Pappy. And his dad was like, "Oh, I'll just have a drink." He goes, "Nah, don't put that cork back on it. When you this is the special occasion.
Right.
It's the life you're living is a special occasion. Don't save something, indefinitely just for an occasion to happen, because you're living the occasion."
Yeah, that actually was the scene that stuck out to me the most, is when his dad said, "Yeah, you don't, you don't finish the bottle, or you
don't save the bottle. You
Yeah.
finish it with your friends."
Right.
And I believe later on in that scene, he explained how a few weeks or months later, his father passed away.
Yep.
So that really made him look back on that and say, "Wow, I'm really glad that we did that."
Yeah. All right.
Sorry to get off on a tangent. I'm just saying that's like part of the reason why I love coffee so much. It's not like I'm a huge coffee nerd or we're just devoted to it for so long. It's just watching the relationships that can spring up over coffee.
Exactly. So, back to this coffee. What do you think the rating on taste should be?
Are we allowed to give percentage points or like decimals?
Yes, decimals are allowed.
8.5 or something like that.
Yep.
Okay. So overall,
As he gets the last few drops, the final sip.
probably going to give this an 8. I think
An 8.
I think an 8 is good. It is a good cup of coffee. It's definitely not a 6 or a 6.75.
Definitely not a 6.
It's an 8, but while it is a good, wholesome cup of coffee, I don't know if I can go any higher than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say 8.5. It's definitely not. It's on the precipice of the 9. It's definitely a safe move would be an 8. I definitely feel as this is that quality. It's nowhere near a 7, nowhere near a 6. So 8.5, which will give us our average of 8.25, I believe.
Yeah, I mean it is for sure an upper tier cup of coffee. I mean it's not that natty Yirg we had last week.
Ooh, that's natty Yirg.
Slapperoonie, some might say. But it is a solid cup of coffee. You're not going to go wrong with this. If you're not going to get your traditional Ethiopian coffee drinkers just like absolutely loving this one, because they're probably going to think it's going to be very fruity and berry forward.
Yeah,
and it is
it's
not that. I want to say this is closer to what I would call a traditional, a Central American coffee than it is what I would normally consider an Ethiopian, because it's not super fruit forward. It's not earthy.
No.
But I think it just has more of a traditional coffee taste to it. That's kind of what I was talking about with Lee's Burundi too. I was talking to Rachel about that.
That Burundi's fire. That'll probably be a morning cup mini.
It's the more traditional style of coffee, but it's different. It's really hard to explain that. Like it's different, but it's traditional.
Yeah. So 8.25 out of 10 on the taste is a solid score. Solid score.
That's a good one.
I believe that's somewhere. I forgot to find their ratings, but yeah, that's on brand. That's hot.
That's hot.
Okay, so next on the show we have our drinkability. So drinkability is it's honestly one of those things that we kind of put. Oh, it's a weird category. Doesn't really have a definition, but it's like kind of what the brand stands for. Kind of.
Is it like something you could drink every day, or is this going to be like a every once in a while cup of coffee?
Yeah. So that too. So I've been trying to think of that. I don't think I could drink it every day. And the price on this, so price does
$20 bag, wasn't it?
It's $19 plus shipping for a 12-ounce bag. 12-ounce.
That's not too bad. That's pretty solid.
Sir, that's pretty high on the. We're normally averaging 16 a pound here. Even the black honey we have 16 for 16 ounces.
That's on the higher end of our pricing. We usually see.
It's over $20 a pound for two. Okay, so for 2 pounds it's $39. So yeah, we're looking at about 20. That's wild. Huh. Wow. You can even get everything grinded out for you in a certain way. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we're looking at over $22 a pound. Higher end.
I'd probably give this as a gift, but I don't know if I would buy it for myself every day to drink.
Yeah. So we're talking about everyday drinking of the taste and then also the price. Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to want to drink this every day. I do like it as a gift idea. It's a solid one. I do think everybody should drink it. But I'm this is where it's going to lose me. $16 or $19 for a 12-ounce bag. I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10 for drinkability.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of 6 too. Just merely on the fact that price point, and I guess what I would call it is repeated drinkability.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I tried, I could finish this bag straight up. But
it would take me a while. That Yirg we blew through.
Almost gone, yeah.
The Dune we blew through. There's some other ones that we have that we never went on the show with, but they're still there. They've been a month there, so their everyday drinkability is not the highest.
And I guess for me, I'm more of a traditionalist with the coffee earthiness flavor for something I want to drink every day.
Yeah.
Utilitarian coffee, if you will. I think the coffee I drink the most is our Naranjo Gold, just because it's a smooth, just Costa Rican medium. It's delicious, chocolatey, but not overpowering, and it's just something you can just put in your coffee cup and drink every day.
Yeah.
I like to tell people it's probably it's an everyday drinker, and it is probably better than most things you would drink every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. And the sourness of the lime, that's like that portion is getting me like it's a very acidic cup of coffee. So I couldn't drink it every day. So
It hits you back here in the glands a little.
Oh yeah. Tastes great. Could I drink it all? Maybe. We'll find out. So next is the bonus round. That's where we kind of added this recently. So each of us gets 5 points to allocate to this cup or this bag. Anywhere you can add it because their motto, their mission statement, their bags, anything really.
So a note on this bag specifically says that these are not our normal bags.
Yeah.
Due to some of the hardships of 2020, they have, I believe, just because on the website they have a nice
It's a blue
light blue,
like a pattern. They're hearts.
yeah, maybe a honeycomb, perhaps close to that.
Yeah,
Not really.
So you can see it. That's what it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, blue hearts right here.
They're out of Colorado. That's pretty cool.
So I'm not really going to be able to give any points for the bag because it's not the normal bag. Not their fault, but it's so I don't know. Up to 5 points we're allowed to give them.
Yeah, I would probably give this a 2.5 for me. So out of my 5 points, give them 2.5. I do like their mission statement. I do. I understand their bags, so I'm not going to even throw that like as a factor. But there's nothing that like they're pretty standard third wave coffee company. I feel like it's cool that the three brothers started it.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
So that's going to be 5.5 out of 10 on the bonus round.
Bonus round.
The bonus round actually lowered the score, but whatever. The average was 7.08, so we round up to 7.1 out of 10 on the overall scale.
Yeah, no, that's probably about right. It's a good cup of coffee. Don't get me wrong, but it's I wouldn't put it in my top 5.
No, 7. So like 7s are like, if you think about it, that's above average. Or is it average? It's above, I don't know.
C's get degrees.
C's get degrees. So that's average. It's not your average cup of coffee. That's why it's 7.1. But where it lost it was the price. So it gets about an average score.
Yeah, that's on the upper edge of pricing, upper tier, I guess.
Yeah.
The
That Natty Yirg, I probably would have paid $20 a bag for.
Yeah, probably. That's an exceptional cup of coffee.
Yeah. I believe that's our top.
Not saying this. This is tough. Like the rating scale, like a 7.1. It is more than just an average cup
Hi,
of
Lee
coffee.
Ortiz. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, more than just an average cup of coffee, but stacking it up, like I said, not in my top 5.
Yeah. It's very good though. You got.
But,
I would suggest if you come in to the shop and ask for a pour over of it, and we have it, I would suggest doing that. Buying a whole bag by yourself first, I would not do. But if you are interested in tasting it before you want to buy a whole bag, go ahead and come in and ask us to hook you up, and we will. Definitely a coffee I'd like to share with people. Probably not going to buy it again.
No, probably not.
So 7.1 out of 10. That is the verdict. All right. So normally we end the show with a quote of the day. Jack threw out a quote that I think is pretty good. So let's go ahead and reiterate that. And
Which quote was that?
the one that you said, the guy, it's not about what you pour. It's
Let me look that up real quick.
Just going to look that up. Okay, so while he's doing that, I'm going to just throw in some shameless plugs. So 2020 is coming to an end. Thank you, 2020. We appreciate you. You brought us our new shop. It's lovely. We appreciate it. You brought us some new great friends that we've encountered along the way. Some great coworkers that have come. So I appreciate you, but we are ready for 2021. And what better way to ring in the new year with some great merchandise from Cafe Rica. So we got our dad hats that we just got in and our other hats here. Some nice crop tops and some nice sweatshirts. Also, this is one of our podcasts that we perform every so often. Hoping to bring you guys good value. You can check us out on all streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. So if you haven't, go ahead and give us a follow on those on YouTube. Subscribe. Give us a rating. 5 out of 5 would be awesome. Let us know what we can do to improve. And at Cafe Rica USA is our handle on all social media. So go ahead and give us a follow. And Jack's got your quote of the day.
So the quote is, "It's not about the whiskey; it's about the people you share it with." And you can just sub out whiskey for coffee, beer, water, whatever. It's just the intent of the quote is to, it's not whatever you're doing; it's who you're doing it with.
Yeah. So I think that's a perfect capstone for the year. It's not about what you're doing, it's who you're doing it with. The important things in life. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, whether you're listening in the morning, the afternoon, or at night. This is the Morning Cup with a longtime friend of the show, Jackson Bredehoft, aka Jackson Macchiato.
That's right, folks. One last bit of knowledge before I'm out. Say yes more in 2021.
Say yes more in 2021. That is all. Thank you.